2014, a 29-year-old Russian billionaire told the most powerful intelligence agency in his country to go to hell. He was running Russia's biggest social network. The FSB wanted the personal data of Ukrainian protesters. He posted their request online with a photo of a dog sticking its tongue out. 2 months later, he was forced out of his own company, sold his shares for $300 million, and fled the country with 2 suitcases. His name is Pavel Durov, and his story is about to get a lot more interesting. He was born in Leningrad in 1984, grew up in Italy, and came back to Russia after the Soviet Union collapsed. His family was one of the only households in the country with a personal computer. He was building websites and breaking passwords while his classmates were still figuring out telephones. In 2006, fresh out of university, he built vKontakte, the Russian Facebook. By 2011, it had 170 million users across the post-Soviet world. He bootstrapped it himself, refused outside capital, and ran it like a fortress against advertisers and governments. Then December 2011 happened. Mass protests broke out in Russia, organized through VK. The FSB demanded he shut them down. He refused. A few days later, an armed police squad showed up at his apartment door. He didn't sleep that night. Instead, he started thinking about how to build a messaging app that no government could ever crack. That app became Telegram. 3 years later, after the FSB came back asking for Ukrainian user data, he made his choice. He sold his stake in VK, packed his life into 2 bags, and left Russia. He has never moved back. Telegram exploded. By 2024, it had over 1 billion monthly users. He moved the headquarters to Dubai. He collected passports. He posed shirtless on Instagram. He claimed to have fathered over 100 biological children through sperm donation. He became, somehow, both a tech billionaire and a meme. But here's where the story turns. In 2018, Pavel announced something audacious, a blockchain built by Telegram, native to 1 billion users. He called it the Telegram Open Network, or TON, and the token would be called Gram. He raised $1.7 billion in 2 private rounds. The minimum investment was $20 million. It was so oversubscribed they canceled the public sale entirely, the biggest crypto raise in history at the time. Then, 20 days before launch, the SEC sued him. They argued the Gram token was an unregistered security. They got a restraining order. They froze the launch. After 8 months of court battles, in March 2020, a federal judge sided with the SEC. Pavel was forced to pay back $1.2 billion to investors and an $18.5 million penalty. He had to abandon TON entirely, the biggest crypto project in history, dead before it ever shipped. He posted a defiant goodbye, blamed regulatory overreach, and walked away. Most people thought that was the end. It wasn't. The open source community quietly picked up the code. They renamed Telegram Open Network to the Open Network. Same acronym, different meaning. The token went from Gram to Toncoin. Mainnet launched in 2021 with no fanfare. For 2 years, almost nobody noticed. Then 2024 hit and everything changed. Telegram launched mini-apps inside the messenger. A clicker game called Notcoin attracted 35 million users. Another called Hamster Combat hit 300 million monthly players. People who had never bought crypto in their lives were suddenly tapping cartoon hamsters and earning Toncoin. Ton went from a forgotten settlement story to a top 20 cryptocurrency. The token hit $8. Pantera Capital backed it. USDT launched on it. The dead project was alive. And then, on August 24th, 2024, French police arrested Pavel Durov at a Paris airport. He had landed on his private jet from Azerbaijan. They had been waiting with an arrest warrant since March. 12 criminal charges, including complicity in child sexual abuse material, drug trafficking, money laundering, and refusing to cooperate with French authorities on Telegram content. It was the first time in history a major tech CEO had been arrested over content posted by his platform's users. He spent 4 days in custody, released on 5 million euros bail, banned from leaving France, forced to check in with police every 2 weeks. Toncoin crashed. The crypto industry panicked. Free speech advocates rallied. Russia accused France of political persecution. Tucker Carlson flew over to interview him. For over a year, Pavel lived under judicial supervision in France. Telegram quietly implemented AI moderation, blocked 34 million groups, and complied with content requests it had previously ignored. In November 2025, France finally lifted his travel ban. The criminal investigation continues, but he's free to move. And then, in April 2026, he made his move. He announced something called Mtonga, Make Ton Great Again, a 7-step roadmap to fix everything wrong with the network he had been forced to abandon 6 years earlier. Step 1. A massive technical upgrade, dropping block times to under half a second, 10 times faster overnight. Step 2. Transaction fees cut by 6 times, down to half a cent. Most transactions eventually moving to fully free. Step 3. The big one. Telegram itself becomes Ton's largest validator, replacing the foundation that had run the network for years. The official Ton.org website now reads, quote, Ton.org is now controlled by Mtonga. The man who had been forced by regulators to walk away from his blockchain in 2020 just took it back. Toncoin pumped 75% in 48 hours, 6 times the normal social media volume. The community cheered the centralization the same crowd had spent a decade saying they hated. Crypto purists called it hypocrisy. The market called it a green candle. Pavel called it tech superiority. There are still 4 steps in Mtonga he hasn't announced yet. A French court is still trying to figure out what to do with him. 1 billion people use his app every month. A blockchain he was supposed to give up forever is now controlled by his company. He told the FSB no, he told the SEC no, he told the French government no, and every single time he came out the other side bigger than he went in. Most founders build companies. Pavel Durov built a worldview. Privacy over profit, defiance over compliance, freedom over comfort. The only question left is which government will try to stop him next. Subscribe to our Crypto Talk for more crypto stories. See you in the next one.